If you guys didn't see the UDS tournament that just happened this past weekend, gotta go check it out. Links in the description. Yo, what is going on, you guys? Bashtianygo here, and today I want to talk about the UDS championship that just happened this past weekend. Like I said before in my intro, if you guys have not checked out the actual duels from the past UDS, again, this past weekend, they're all uploaded separately on the channel, so you guys feel free to go ahead and check them out. But we saw a lot of crazy stuff this past week, a lot of spicy text I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about, and honestly, guys, a lot of high level gameplay, especially from the champion Jesse Cotton. If you guys did not know, Jesse Cotton was on stream 3 separate times this past weekend, and honestly, just watching his games and how he manages his resources, how he's able to go about the actual game state, and really just maximizing the potential of the card economy that his deck provides is something that is out of this world, and something that is extremely impressive. And definitely, if anyone's gonna have that type of a performance, why not be Jesse Cotton, arguably the greatest duelist of our current generation, right? Throughout the entire weekend, we saw immense boards get built by primarily, let's be real here, the Snake Eyes engine. Snake Eyes, Fire Kings, pure Snake Eyes was pretty much running all over the entire event. Pretty much all of my thumbnails consisted of some type of Fire King or some type of Sinful Spoils or some type of Snake Eye card. You can see my dog right there, she's chilling. But yeah, so when it comes to that, guys, we knew we're going to be in a fire-based format, and of course Fire and Snake Eyes decks are going to be top tier. Just, you can again look at the replays, you can clearly see just the massive amount of advantage that these cards generate. It's ridiculous. It gets you so much interruption, it gives you so much follow-up. Card economy is crazy, the hand advantage is crazy, the amount of, again, interruption you're able to put up on your opponent's board is just so wild, while simultaneously building up your own board during your opponent's turn, which makes the mirror match that much more impressive of a victory as to who can really maximize on the field presence the best. I think it's really cool. But as far as potential counters to these strategies, I think Floowandere's, of course, Branded are gonna be the toughest ones. Just give it the hardest time when it comes down to it. Of course, Branded being able to put up some really impressive high attack monsters as well, some really just big monsters as well, some high beaters, monsters that can go ahead and make all your attack 0, things like that. Also can main deck cards like Super Polymerization, which I think are gonna be crazy big this format, which I'll get to Super Polymerization just a little bit as well. But honestly, guys, it has the potential to really be the main focal point as far as a counter to the by far best deck of the format, which is going to be the Sinful Spoils Snake Eyes. You want to play it pure, or you want to play it with Snake Eyes Fire King. Personally, I think the Snake Eyes Fire King deck has a little bit more of a diversity to it, has a little more of an advantage to it, while the finals of the match, I believe, was Snake Eyes versus Snake Eyes Fire King, so Snake Eyes is all over the place. Realistically, I do not believe that the Snake Eye deck itself has enough avenues you can go ahead and diverge to in the event you want to go ahead and play a deck that plays around multiple hand traps, things like that. That's just my personal opinion on this deck, guys. Honestly, if you guys, I highly recommend go back and actually check out the event itself. Any Jesse Cotton match, any other matches I posted regularly on the over the weekend are high level gameplays. You can learn a lot from them and really learn again how to just overall maximize your performance, right? Now, beyond the matches being fantastic, there are some cards that really stuck out, and I want to go ahead and address them with you guys. First card I want to go ahead and shout out is going to be Parallel Exceed. We saw the Shung Ping playing this in his pure Snake Eye variant. It was a really cool way to go ahead and just get out Infernal Flame Banshee and really just go ahead and keep searching out your pyro monsters that the deck, of course, loves to play, which is something I hadn't really considered. Of course, I've seen the Super Heavy Samurai engine get played, which there's going to be a deck profile on that coming up soon on the channel, so make sure you guys subscribe, stay tuned for that one. But as well as playing Parallel Exceed in the main deck as well was something really impressive, and something that I honestly did not think of, something that can be really spicy, because realistically the deck revolves around Link Kuriboh as well. So if you get rid of Link Kuriboh, it hurts what the deck can actually link climb into. You can still go ahead and get there, don't get me wrong, but Link Kuriboh is going to be huge, of course, to go ahead and get your plays going. So you go ahead and summon Link Kuriboh, summon Parallel Exceed, activate Parallel Exceed. You can go ahead and go into any rank 4 you want. You can go on a Baguska, Abyss Dweller, Tornado Dragon, the event you want to. Of course, you can go ahead and go into Infernal Flame Banshee, which then searches you any pyro. So you go ahead and search out your Populace, go full combo when it comes to the Snake Eyes engine. So really impressive that that is a strategy was actually to be able to be played in such a high level event. So Parallel Exceed gave a lot of consistency as far as being able to access to the rank 4 package, rank 4 engines. It does provide, I think, some issues when it comes to the consistency as far as being able to see it, seeing too much of it. Maybe it's better to draw better cards. But again, I'm not a UDS champion. I wasn't even part of this UDS event, so take that with a grain of salt. There are, I think, better options to it, but it really was something that stood out from the event. Another card that really stood out, and the card that we should definitely look towards potentially playing, is Relinquished Anima. You saw Jesse Cotton use this multiple times to go ahead and break boards, get rid of problematic monsters, just overall reduce the amount of monsters your opponent had, which is absolutely crazy. Being able to go ahead and pair this with the effect of the World Dragon Zealantis to go ahead and place the cards wherever it is that you needed them as well is something that is absolutely blew my mind as far as what you could actually accomplish with this strategy. So the fact that Relinquished Anima can just go ahead and snatch it from them, and you really don't have to worry about destruction effects, which was the effect, I believe it was the second time he was on the stream. He was trying to get over a Fire King Kieran, and obviously if they show that Kieran gets effect to revive and destroy non-targeting. So you go ahead and summon Relinquished Zealantis, everything of course summoning back, put the Kieran right above the extra monster zone where you can go ahead and place select the placement of everything. And in the event you want to go ahead and get rid of something like a Baron, right, you can actually go ahead and summon it face down, so that way you don't have to worry about reactivating the Baron's effect, which I think is so genius as well. Zealantis is obviously on a card, but I think Anima was just so clutch, being able to take nib tokens, being able, of course you're not going to gain the attack because of a nib token because the original attack is 0/0, but just getting rid of a really big monster is going to be really crucial as well. So I thought that was extremely spicy from Jesse Cotton. Another card that was a huge surprise, guys, was Cyframe Delta, a card that I would not even consider in a million years to go ahead and play this card. So basically it's like Cyframe Gamma. You have Cyframe Gamma if you control no monsters, you go ahead and special summon it with a driver from your deck, and you get to go ahead and negate monster effect, whatever it might be. Cyframe Delta, the same thing, but it does it for spells. So you can go ahead and hit the original Sinful Spoils, you can hit Wanted, you can hit the Fire King Island, you can hit the Fire King Sanctuary. There's so many really strong spells in this deck, 1-for-1 as well. There's so many really strong spells in this deck that honestly it revolves a lot around it, and I think it's taking a lot on the advantage that also playing cards like Anti-Spell Fragrance would be very beneficial in its current format. I think it would be a really standout card as well. But Cyframe Delta was a card that I don't think anybody saw coming, and the second he dropped that card on the feature match, I was honestly extremely blown away by the overall genius this man had to go ahead and make sure that he's not only able to play this card, but he's able to go ahead and clear his own field in order to have access to this card. If you guys have not seen the feature match, basically what he does is he has Promethean Princess, SP Little Knight. He finds some way to go ahead and activate SP Little Knight's effect to banish both those monsters, and that way he has a clear field, he is good to go. And then he's go ahead and activate Cyframe Gamma when his opponent activates, I believe it was Original Sinful Spoils at that time, so he gets a huge advantage off that as well, also protecting himself with 2 bodies on the board. So I think huge kudos for that. Another 2 cards that go hand in hand that I think deserve a shout out are Forbidden Chalice and Forbidden Droplet. Droplet was all over the place, realistically helping out any type of decks out there. It was realistically, you're not going to really use a lot of the cards you have. The Snake Eye also engine plays so much advantage and gets you so many monsters on the field, where sometimes you just don't know what to do with all those monsters because there's not really anything else that you can really link into and things like that. So which is why I wanted to go ahead and explore playing potentially like Underworld Goddess, if you guys are looking for my point of view. But I think on Forbidden Chalice and Forbidden Droplet were absolutely massive this past UDS as well. You can see Jesse Cotton playing around cards like Infinite Impermanence, preemptively cross-outing the Infinite Impermanence to put on the double imprint potentially, but also playing cards like Forbidden Droplets, which I don't think a lot of people saw coming, which can really be a big strategy going into this upcoming format as well. But I think overall we learned a lot about this previous UDS, guys. We learned that obviously Snake Eye Fire King is by far, or just Snake Eye itself is by far the best decks of the current format. Welcome to Fire format, guys. By far the craziest decks out there. There's so many ways you can go ahead and play this deck. Like I said, if you guys want to check out a super heavy samurai version of it. I will upload it later on in the week on the channel, but make sure you guys go ahead and stay tuned for that. But without further ado, guys, hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe. What cards stood out to you guys in this previous UDS? Comment down below if there's any cards that I missed that are high impact cards that I just didn't mention on this video. There's so many of them, but I think these were the most high impacted, except for the Panzer Dragon. But I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure you guys subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.